Hey guys, ArchieLuxury channel. Remember, like, subscribe, and tell your friends. Tell your friends about my channel. Quick wristwatch check. Breakster. And today I'd like to talk about the fans I met in Sydney. These are the fans I met in Sydney. And I gotta tell you, I met some really cool people. I landed on Wednesday. And I was staying in the upmarket Sydney suburb of Darlinghurst, very close to King's Cross and the CBD. And the first fan I met was Dom. That's right, Dom. And he was a really cool guy. He wore a two-tone bluesy Submariner, and we met up. We met up just down the road in in the same street I was staying. I was staying in Stanley Street, so we met up together. And he's quite an interesting guy. He makes videos. He does work for SBS. He's a bit of a producer sort of guy. You know, these arty, farty sort of guys. And he's early 30s. Really cool guy. Really cool guy. And as I said, he had a two-tone bluesy. Very interesting tale he tells about his father. His father is a huge wristwatch man. And his father has had some big ups and big downs in life. And his father, in the late 90s, was at his peak of his career. Everything was working well. So he wanted a wristwatch, and he had to decide between either getting a Patek Philippe 5035 annual calendar, same model I've owned, or a Lang A1. A Lang A1. Lang A Sun. Lang A1. And he decided he went for the Lang A1, which I can't say is a bad choice. There's nothing wrong with a Lang A1 at all there. And very interesting story he tells there. He had he bought the Lang A1, and this was in the late 90s when no one had ever heard of Lang A. And the first time I'd ever heard of Lang A was in 97. I actually flew to Ukraine for a holiday with the Russian wife, and we flew Lufthansa, and the in-flight magazine there, they had a story on this brand, Lang A Sun. I'm thinking, this brand's never going to take off. Yes, sir. Yes, sirree. And I got to tell you, it's a very interesting tale indeed. Anyhow, his dad went through some ups and downs, and for personal reasons, a bit like me, he had to sell it. And he sold it to a dealer in Melbourne for dealer in Sydney for $16,000, which that's Aussie dollars, by the way, pretty mean. And then years later, he wanted the son to get a watch, so he went back to that dealer. I will not name him to protect the guilty. And he said, "Look, you ripped me off when I sold my Lang A. I want you to do me a damn good deal on a two-tone bluesy he had in stock. Pre-owned two-tone bluesy, no holes case, gold in the bracelet, through the strap there, through the buckle, you know, on the two-tone Submariner. So he got it for $8.5. My friend who I met, Dom, he put in, I think he said he put in 3 or 4. His dad put the rest in. And I got to tell you, Dom is a one-watch man. And I've often said, if you had to have one wristwatch only, a two-tone bluesy, not a bad way to go there. Not a bad way at all to go. So Dom's a very hip guy, a little bit of a beard, you know, really happening. He bought me a few. We had some Stelios at the tavern there. And then Dom had to go. He had a date. He's always these hipsters. They're dating. They're procreating. That's for sure. So then I teed up another luxury fan there. I had another fan who actually saw me, and he was a really cool guy. Really cool guy. I'm just trying to, let me just bring up his details there. Very, very cool. He's an accountant. He's actually an AD in the Big Four, associate director. See, I got classy punters. I have got some very, very classy punters indeed. So don't you worry about that, guys. Yeah, I was very, very pleased to meet him. He was a lovely guy. He had a steel IWC Portuguese, lovely watch. He took me out to a whiskey bar, 2 shots of whiskey. I said, I want something peaty. I didn't think he liked it, so I actually said, hey, you don't want that, I'll drink that, and let's go and get some Vietnamese food to eat. I know a good place. And that's what we did, because let's face it, you know, I don't want to pump the poor bugger dry. $50 for 2 whiskeys. Wowzers, Sydney. It was nice, beautiful whiskeys, but you know, I'm not here to, you know, I got to be nice to my fans there. So we had dinner together, we're chatting watches. Lovely guy, very, very successful guy. He's looking at adding another watch, and it's a bit of a dilemma because he'd like to add an Omega Speedmaster Man on the moon. But he's already got a chronograph. He's got the IWC Portuguese chronograph. So, you know, he's kind of looking around a little bit. What can he get there? He's thinking about a few different things. Rolex Submariner could be a great choice. Get a Rolex. Really cool guy. Had a great time. Then we went to the casino. I didn't gamble. But then we went back. You know, it was good to see a bit of stuff there, I must admit. That was really, really cool. Then it was time for nighty nights, Betty guy, so I went to sleep. Next day, Thursday, I met up with my good friend Ian the watchmaker. That's the guy who slept with 7,000 women. Ian the watchmaker had a bit of he took me to breakfast. That was great. We had a nice breakfast. He said I'd put on weight. Can you believe this? He said, Arch, you put on a weight. I haven't seen him in 5 years. Yeah, I know the story. Thank you. Thank you, Ian. We really need that bit of reality. That's a bit of a reality check there. So the next guy I met was my favorite Scotsman. He met me for lunch. He's the guy who has the 2-tone Rolex Daytona. White dial, 2-tone white dial Daytona. He doesn't wear it to work. He took me out for lunch. We had a beautiful Thai meal. He's a really cool guy. I really like my Scotsman friend. Had a great time at chatting watches. Nice meal. Geez, we ordered a lot of stuff. That was really cool. Thank you so much. Then we went to Hourglass then. And we had a good, you know, then he had to go back to work. And I then went on the ferry and had some, you know, shot a bit of footage there. But I got to tell you, that was great to meet up with him. Then I went back to my Airbnb, had a bit of a relax. My feet were killing me because when you go around on these tours, you want to wear comfy shoes. But if you don't wear black leather shoes, they won't let you in. It's just a bummer. So feet were killing me. Had a bit of a relax for a little bit. Then my next fan wanted to see me. Kelvin. Kelvin's a super cool guy. I've met him before when I've come to Sydney. Kelvin's a really cool guy. He took me out for the seafood feast. Absolute top bloke. Took me out. Oh, I had a great time with Kelvin. Kelvin, very generous. One of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. He's a very nice guy. Just salt of the earth, genuine, most unpretentious. I mean, the guy is very successful, but the most humble, the most unpretentious person you've ever met in your life. Really cool guy. Very cool guy indeed there. And after that, it was time to go and have a little bit of a relax. Kelvin, look, I don't know how to put this. This is where If you are a Patreon sponsor, you'll get a special secret video. Secret videos, that's right. You can hear about my Chinatown antics with paid providers. That's right, a bit of a paid provider story there. If you're a Patreon sponsor, even sending me $1 a month, I will include you in secret videos that only go to my Patreon supporters. Click on the link below in the description to sponsor me on Patreon. Then I went back to the unit, had oh my God, I was thirsty. I was thirsty because after the seafood. I went to this convenience store, $4.95 for a small orange juice and $3.95 for a mineral water. Franklin, you know, the Mount Franklin, like this small bottle, you know. Gee, but I was thirsty. I would have paid $10, you know, but then it was Friday. Time to fly back, which is a bit of a shame because I wanted to see David. David, my good friend in Sydney. I got a lot of fans I wanted to see. I just ran out of time. So that was the Sydney tour. Tell me what you guys think of that.